The point of this video is to teach you literally everything that you need to know to start making money with a YouTube channel in 2025, even if you have a brand new or a tiny channel. You'll understand the ranking algorithm better than 90% of the people on YouTube. You'll know how to write scripts, how to find good video ideas, how to set up a good studio, how to rank your videos. I'm also going to sprinkle in some of the newest AI tools that a lot of YouTubers still aren't using that'll make your life easier. It'll make it so you don't have to spend so much money on your new YouTube channel, and it'll obviously help you make money faster, which is the real point of this video. Now, you probably noticed when you clicked, this is not like a cutesy little short video that gives you a few generic pointers. We're going to be really diving into every single step here so that you understand it and you can excel and do well at it. I'm not going to try to sell you a course at the end because you won't need a course at the end of this video. You'll pretty much have a step-by-step idea of exactly what you're going to be doing for the next 365 days for your new YouTube channel. So now that we all know what this video is and what it's going to do for you, let's dive in and talk YouTube. Now, step one is one of those things that you hear and it's in every single video, but I think people are not teaching this right. And because of that, people are not doing this right. And they're setting themselves off on kind of a bad foot when they start their brand new channel. Now, this is niche selection or category selection, right? And you've probably watched any other video has talked about this, but no one talks about it in the right way. And let me explain. I want you to go multiple levels deeper than you're probably thinking you want your new channel to be about. I'm talking micro niche. So that means you need to pick a category, but then you need to delve deeper into that category. You want to go as many levels down as you possibly can, especially in the beginning. For example, this is a make money online channel. So when I first started, I probably thought, I'm just going to talk about how to make money online, right? There's a lot of ways to make money online, and that's what I'm going to talk about. But as I grew the channel, I refined it. And instead I started to talk more about how to make money online, but with one specific method, with affiliate marketing. Now, were I to start over, I would have refined it another step and said how to make money online with affiliate marketing using TikTok or using YouTube. I would have gone multiple levels deeper than that initial concept of how to make money online. And this goes for everything, whether it's sports or health. Health is so broad. So maybe it's specific stretches, but maybe it's specific stretches for your back. Maybe you focus on back pain, right? That's a very small microcosm of the entire health niche, and you can do so well in that. And here's why. You're gonna put out 5 or 10 videos, right? Now, if you put out all 5 or 10 of those videos on a variety of how to make money online subjects, now you've got some people that want to make money online through drop shipping, selling physical products from China, right? You've got some followers that want to do affiliate marketing. You've got some followers on TikTok and YouTube. Some maybe want to do little side hustles like buy and selling on Facebook, right? Because you put out all these videos about these different things. So now you put out your 11th video, and that's on agencies, let's say. That's on the method of making money online about agencies. Well, unfortunately, only 5 or 10% of your audience, subscribe to you from an agency style video. They're not that interested in that video. So the other 90% don't watch. And YouTube says, okay, not a great video. And that video doesn't go blow up elsewhere outside of your own small subscriber base. But let's flip that. On the flip side, you go very niche, right? For my example, how to make money online with affiliate marketing using TikTok. Now you've got these people that come in, they watch 5 of your videos. It's the exact way of making money that they are focused on, that they want to do. So you put out a 6th video. It's about another little, maybe a way to rank on TikTok better, maybe a new way to make more money using affiliate marketing on TikTok. Your total audience that this video can be shown to online is a smaller, but you're going to get 90% of your audience watching that video because it's exactly why they follow you, and it's exactly the method that they're doing. It's the exact microcosm that they're interested in, right? Same thing with back pain. If you're just a general health person and you talk about back pain, then the next video you're like, hey, I'm going to help you solve your ankle pain. Well, 90% of your audience doesn't have that pain, and so it's not going to work. But if every video is, hey, here's some diets for helping your back pain, here's some stretches for doing your back pain, here's some strengthening exercises for helping your back pain, right? We're going all these directions targeting one exact similar audience, then you'll do better. So I've hammered niche a little harder than you may have heard it hammered before, but it is so important that you identify this and you go a few layers deeper than probably what you're initially thinking for the success of your future channel, especially when you're smaller. And those first 5 or 10 videos, the more succinct and the more close-knit those videos are to each other in their subject matter, the better your channel will take off from day one. Step number 2, let's talk about the video types that you're probably going to do on your newer channel. Now, there's a lot of different types of videos and styles of video. video on YouTube, and you could probably make a list of 10 to 20 different styles, but we're going to focus on 3 in the beginning for a few specific reasons. Those 3 video types are these. Number 1 is how-to videos. We're talking about tutorials, step-by-step guides, for example, I'm teaching YouTube, so I could say how I grow my YouTube channel every single month or something along those lines. But essentially, we're showing somebody how to achieve their desire or how to fix their pain. So in my initial niche, where we're talking about how to do affiliate marketing on TikTok, I might focus on how to do affiliate marketing on TikTok in one video. I might focus on how to target the TikTok algorithm in another video, right? All these little angles and stuff that I can take for this very specific sub niche. The second type of video is top 5 or top 10 videos, right? The best, those kind of videos. These tend to be really easy to make, which is why I like to throw them in the mix, and they tend to mix in well with your subscribers. But going back to my original example, we could say, here's the top 5 niches to promote when you're doing affiliate marketing on TikTok. Here's the top 5 types of videos that'll blow up on, doing affiliate marketing on TikTok. Here's the top 5 affiliate marketing programs out there. Things like that, where I'm just really hammering that little audience of mine with these top 5. And then the third one is just product reviews. Okay, and the reason I like these in the beginning is, one, they tend to be less competitive for a lot of products. If you're trying to do like an Apple iPhone review, day one, you're out there doing a review of the new iPhone, you're gonna find that it's far too competitive for your new small channel. But if you're finding smaller products that are out there that people are buying, you'll find that you can have some good wins in the beginning. And we'll talk about monetization down the road. This is an easy way to potentially make money on your first 2-3 videos, which really gives you a big spark, turns something on in most people's brains and helps them see and realize and get excited and motivated and just stoked about the idea of YouTube, because YouTube is awesome once it's rolling, but sometimes it can be hard to make that ball start rolling. So step 3 is actually coming up with our video ideas. And like I said, we're gonna do this in a way that's gonna give you 6 months worth of video ideas right up front. So you're gonna sit down, if you're watching this January 1st, and you're gonna have everything planned through July 1st by the end of this video. We're gonna use those 3 specific video types as much as we can, and we're gonna use them in our research phase as we go through researching video ideas. Now, everyone does this differently, but I would have some sort of spreadsheet. As you start researching and diving into coming up with video ideas for your channel, you're gonna wanna have a large spreadsheet, because you're gonna come up with tons in the beginning, and you're not gonna wanna forget any of these, especially when the good ideas come. It can be as simple as what you see on the screen. You got an idea, a title, and maybe some kind of example video that sparked the idea that you wanna match. Now, I've used basically every research tool out there and basically every way to come up with ideas for YouTube videos, and I found that the best 4 are free and they're really not that hard. And let me explain here. The first one is looking around out there in your niche. You'll find that there are trends of what's working right now. Like, what is trending in your niche right now? And there are certain subjects that are kind of just hopping. And if you can dive in to that current conversation, it's very, very easy. So we're gonna head over to YouTube and we're gonna type in make money online, right, in our initial space. And we're gonna start to look at some of these videos. And what I'm specifically looking for is I'm looking for videos that are doing well relative to the subscriber count of the channel. So for example, if I click on this first one, 747,000 subscribers, 21,000 views, not doing great considering how many subscribers he has, right? Most of the views are probably just his kind of base level of really devoted subscribers. So we're gonna scroll until we find something that's actually taking off relative to the numbers of subscribers that somebody has. Now, if you're like me, you're looking at these headlines and they're making you gag a little bit. $180 an hour, Google side hustle, $100 a day, you've been there, $285 per hour, blah. Anyway, we're gonna scroll down a little bit till we find something that's working. A good example is this one where it's got 290,000 views. You can see that's more than she has in total subscribers, which means something about that was doing well. AI affiliate blog. Now, it is 4 months old, which is a little bit old, but I think you can still run at that. So you know now that, hey, this title, this subject matter of an AI affiliate blog, the concept of doing it in minutes, there's good stuff here. It's working well for this channel and helping them grow. I scrolled down for a few more minutes and you can see amply cash. These guys have 100,000 subs. They've got 231,000 views. That's working as well. Now, we're in the grossest niche on YouTube right now where they're promising things like $12 per minute on autopilot. Don't like that, but you will be able to find probably 10 to 20 good ideas of just what's working within your niche right now in a timely manner. Now, I want to pause real quick. I just want to push my computer away and kind of give some real talk here. This concept of timeliness of hitting something that's happening right now is probably the number one way to grow a new channel on YouTube. Meaning, what is happening like in the last 24, 48, 72 hours that you could hit on. And if you can be the first to market or one of the first few videos to hit on a new concept or something that's happening like really current, you can blow up a channel faster than any other way that I know of. For example, when AI was just going nuts, right? It was probably about a year ago that ChatGPT first launched. And then suddenly we saw Midjourney and just all these AI tools started launching. And for about a month there, every video that anybody made that was, how to make money with AI, how to use AI to do this, new AI tool that can do this for you. All those videos were just exploding. There were new channels going to 100,000 subscribers in their first 5 or 10 videos because they were hitting something that was just trending hard right then. And there's not always something trending hard, but the number one thing I can say is be ready. And when something does hit, you're like, oh my gosh, suddenly everyone's talking about AI. Be there. Be the one to, one of the first few people to be hitting that and talking about that as you see that trend emerge. Be one of those first ones and learn to recognize those trends really, really early. And you can blow up channels just insanely, incredibly fast. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna use YouTube again, and we're gonna do what I call cross-vertical video promotion. And essentially all we're doing here is we're gonna go to other niches, similar niches to us in some way, and we're gonna try to take what's working for them and move it over to us. Let me show you what I'm talking about. My niche is affiliate marketing. So then I'm gonna go down here, I'm gonna start looking at some of these titles. What's doing well in the how to make money with real estate, right? Oh, look, how to become a millionaire through real estate investing for newbies. Well, there's a great video idea for me. Honestly, you may see this video come out soon. How to become a millionaire through affiliate marketing for newbies, right? That's a great title idea. In fact, I'm kind of wishing I'd already come up with that. It's just a good title. It's a good catchy title. Moving down, how to get rich with affiliate marketing the right way. And you can see I'm gonna get all these good ideas, what's really working, but no one in my space is probably doing that exact thing yet because it's working in this space, but it hasn't necessarily made its way to my particular niche or vertical yet. So I'll head over to my spreadsheet and I'll add those. Step 3 is the YouTube search bar. This will help you find something that's trending if you're struggling with that. So for example, if I type in affiliate marketing, you're gonna see these are like the big ones right now. We've got Pinterest. We've got people looking for a full course, which is the video we actually just put out a few videos ago because we ran into it here and saw that people were looking for full courses online. For beginners, step by step, where you can really start to see good stuff is when you type in letters like A, B, C, right? And we can get unlimited amounts of ideas here of what people are looking for. Now all I've got to do is look into affiliate marketing explained or whatever the title is that I'm thinking of doing. I've got all these different video ideas and I just want to make sure that there is some volume going around. Meaning, are the videos getting views that are talking about this subject matter? And you'll find that a lot of them aren't, right? There's tons of ideas pulling up here. And so this one's just to kind of find some little trending things that you may not be able to find in any other way. And the last one is our new best friend on YouTube, and that's ChatGPT. You can do this with the totally free account, and all you've got to do is ask it for ideas. It's gonna give you about 90 bad ones, but it's gonna give you 10 pretty good ones as well. Let me show you. All I did was type in, give me 100 YouTube video ideas in the affiliate marketing space, focus on ideas that are currently blowing up and doing well. And you can see, I love ChatGPT because it's stuff that you would kind of feel bad asking a real employee to do. Like, hey, can you like get me 10,000 of these little ideas and I'll only use like 3 of them? And they're like, what? But ChatGPT doesn't care. And it'll come out with 10,000 and doesn't feel bad if you hate all of them or if you just like a few of them. And so you'll find that as we go through here, a lot of them aren't as good, but this might be like a great one for, especially for YouTube, how to create stunning thumbnails, right? That might be a great one for the follow-up for this video. But affiliate marketing trends, 30-day affiliate marketing challenge, how to negotiate higher affiliate commissions, right? Just fun little videos that are like great side videos that kind of help build a complete picture around affiliate marketing for people. So what you're gonna do when you first start your channel, I usually try to stay anywhere from 3 to 6 months ahead. So you're gonna fill this spreadsheet with anywhere from maybe 12 to 25 of your best and your favorite ideas, unless you can do more than maybe a video a week, which most new channels can't. But if you can, go for 25 to 50. You're gonna fill this up with ideas, titles, and any example videos you can find that you might want to mimic or kind of follow the general plot of that video because you thought it did well or something like that. Hopefully you can see here, one of the biggest struggles that YouTubers go through in the beginning is like, I don't know what to talk about or what to make a video about. And that really shouldn't ever be what stalls you out. With a new channel, you should be able to get to 100 videos pretty easily before you run out of ideas or ever get to a point where you're like, I don't know what to talk about next. Right here, a list of 25 videos that we're gonna make in order starting right now. And then you always know what your next step is. As soon as you get into your studio, right there, you're ready. You know what needs to happen next. Now, one really important concept that you need to understand if you're going to be making YouTube videos is the idea of batching. And some people naturally do this and some people don't and learn to do it the hard way. And what batching is where you don't go through the entire process for one single video at a time. Meaning I don't spend a bunch of time researching, grab one video, make a script for that video, make a thumbnail for that video, make the actual video, edit that video. I do it in batches of 5 to 10. You can even go as low as 3 depending on your time scale. But what you're gonna wanna do is batch research so you have at least 25 video ideas. Moving from that, you can batch script. You can write scripts for at least 5 videos. And from there, you can film at least 5 videos. You'll find that your brain has to switch and certain things take a lot of time to set up. For example, when I go film, I've got to turn on lights everywhere, get audio all set up. It usually takes me 20 to 30 minutes just to get everything kind of functioning, get my mind in the right place, get dressed, shower. I don't always shower before I work because I work from home, just stuff like that. You want to do it in batches so that you can avoid having to do that for every single video. And so what we're doing now is scripting, and you'll want to do this for at least 5 videos. Go into scripting mode and make 5 scripts. Now I want you to look on the screen here and you can see what my scripting process is. Most people do this differently. Everyone kind of has their own style, so you can tweak this however you want, but you need to have something like this to help you along the way. What you can see is what I have right here, and it's got a title of the video, a call to action, meaning what are we trying to get people to do, to click, right? Because that's where a lot of our money comes from on YouTube, is people actually taking action on the video. And then if I have anything special about this video, for example, if this is a tutorial, I would want to tell myself or whoever's editing it, remind them that you need to make sure you zoom in on certain things. And when I'm showing something very specific, you're going to want to zoom in on that specific thing. And you'll find my editor does that very well, where if I've got a screen full of stuff, he'll zoom in and kind of highlight where you need to look. And that'll come in special editing instructions. And then this is the main script. And you can see right here, it can go as long as you want. It's got basically a scene. So you see those movies, they start a movie and they always have the clapper and they say scene 1, take 3 or something like that. I don't do takes, but I have scene 1, 2, 3, 4, and some videos are dozens, maybe even hundreds of scenes long. If it's a video where I'm maybe doing an experiment and I'm kind of showing myself going about trying something new or something, there'll be scenes all over where I'm in, I'm in my bedroom, I'm in another room in my house, I'm outside, and these are all different scene changes. This is the audio script, okay? And this will be different for everyone. For me, for most videos, it's bullet points. It's, in scene 1, I want to talk about this, and then talk about this, and then talk about this. But for some people, this is totally teleprompted out. And we'll show you in the filming studio section of this video, kind of how you can add an easy teleprompter that you can still look right at your camera and do some pretty cool things. But that just depends on you. I usually recommend eventually getting to where you can do bullets. So this will be the audio script. What is happening coming out of my mouth right here? This is the visual script, meaning where are we? Like, are we sitting in my office? Are we sitting somewhere else? Are we outside? You can also add different things into the visual script. For example, I'll add stuff to my editor saying, hey, can you pull a clip from a YouTube video about this? Or can you go out there and find this website and give them an example? Or those are all things like, hey, I need these visual things to be happening on the screen. So that's both for me and for my editor, where I'm at and what might need to go on the screen for that particular scene. And the last one is pattern interrupt ideas. We'll talk a little bit about pattern interrupts, but we've all seen some YouTube videos where things are flashing up on the screen. Maybe there's some fun transitions. Maybe there's a funny little movie clips, and it's just fun little ways and unique ways to kind of keep people watching and keep people entertained as they're watching what sometimes is harder to watch videos. That if it looks like a duck, if it quacks like a duck, if it swims like a duck. So to give you an example script of a video that's coming out soon on my channel that's not complete yet because I haven't filled out the pattern interrupt ideas, but you can see here I've got all these different scenes. This is one I move all over my house. It's a video about me testing out the power of a power nap. And you can see I've got just different places in my house that I'm filming. You'll also see colors right here. That's me identifying that there's a scene change, meaning I can film the green part and then I'm going to have to stop because I'm going to move somewhere else in my house or have a different background or change audio sources or something. So after the end of that green, I need to cut. And you can see right here, I still need to do a little bit of finishing up on this script, but this is what we're in for our next video. This is the script, and it can get quite a bit long. Something I never do though anymore, as you can tell, is I never teleprompt it out. And so this is just things for me to talk about. Talk about this, talk about that. Now let's look at the main 3 parts that every script will have. Every script will have to have at least 3 sections. Obviously, most of them will have more, but you can see right here, every script needs to have a hook, a body, and a conclusion. That's what every YouTube video has. It's got a hook, it's got a body, which is kind of the main portion of the video where the stuff that we've promised is actually happening. And then it's got a conclusion where we give them next steps or we finalize the video or do something like that. Let's talk about hooks. I'm going to show you something that might surprise you if you've never made a YouTube video, and this really blew my mind when I first started to get into YouTube analytics. This is the last video that launched on this channel, and the video is actually doing fairly well, which means it probably has a pretty decent hook. But what you can see right here, this is a chart that shows you how many people are still watching that have clicked and watched your video at a certain point in the video. So that video isn't a long one. It's like an hour long, I think. But you can see right here, 2 seconds into the video, 92% are watching. So that means 2 seconds into this video, 8% of the people watching the video have already left the video. Now, I don't think you can blame me for that. I don't think I've had time to make an impression in 2 seconds, but maybe you can. But let's go a little further here and you can see we're 10 seconds in. Now we're at 82%, meaning we've lost a full 18% of the people watching this video. Let's go all the way to 30, which is about how long a typical hook will be. We'll go to 30 seconds right here, and you can see we're 72%. Okay, 72% of people are still watching 30 seconds into this video. Now that might seem low, but that's actually really high. And we have videos that go as low as 40% that are still watching in the first 30 seconds of the video. Obviously, there are things that are being said or not said in the first 30 seconds that are causing people to leave. Now, you can't make every single person stay, but you can make a lot of people stay. That means that there's some very important things that need to be done, and you could call this the most important 30 seconds or 15 seconds of your entire YouTube video, because this is where people decide if they're going to stay or not. And you'll see that typically it levels out after that. People that, you get this huge dip where tons of people drop, but then it'll slowly go down after that, where a few people will drop off, but it tends to stay a lot more stable. So we need to say and do and show the right things in our hook. The two biggest things that have worked for me are desire and curiosity. Let's start by talking a little bit about desire. If I'm making a YouTube video in my channel, which often talks about how to make money, it's probably going to be important for me to target and talk about that desire in the first 30 seconds. For example, if I made a YouTube tutorial on affiliate marketing, well, I could just say, this video, I'm going to show you everything you need to know about affiliate marketing. I'm going to teach you how to start, finding the right niche. I'm going to show you all this stuff. And when you just heard me, it might sound like a good hook, but what I didn't actually target is their real desire. They don't want to learn affiliate marketing. They don't really care about affiliate marketing. They want money. They want to make money. That's the core. There might be something even deeper, but everyone's kind of got a few different reasons. It could be the luxury, it could be the freedom, and people will target different things. But the great unifier here is they want money, which means my words need to hit that, and they need to hit it specifically. I'm going to show you how to make money with affiliate marketing. That's a little better than I'm going to show you how to do affiliate marketing. Even better though, I'm going to show you how to make $200 every single day with affiliate marketing in the next 30 to 60 days. Do you see how we got really, really specific there? And that hook will do significantly better than just a generalized hook where I just talk about kind of what the video has. Now, this isn't just our words. This is what's being shown on the screen. This is why you'll see people with fake money starting a lot in their screen. And I'm no different than anybody else in that regard. We got tons of fake money for our YouTube videos, though it looks like they're a little whited out right now. Telling and showing and combining those focused on their desire tends to have a lot better effect. You'll also see people in my space where a lot of people are trying to make money for freedom, right? They'll show their free life. They're them out jet skiing and visiting Hawaii and traveling to Thailand, and they kind of show that lifestyle they've created in the first 30 seconds because they want to show people their desire of things they want. Other people, it's about luxury watches and yachts, and they might show that. You need to figure out what the desire is of the people that you want to watch your video, and you need to explain it to them very clearly in that first 30 seconds that this video is the best way to achieve their desire. You can flip that and do it a problem as well. So if you're doing tutorials about problems, are you looking to get rid of a disgusting stain on your carpet? Let me show you how I turned this disgusting stain right here into this completely, totally clean carpet right here, odor-free. Can you see how I hit that problem they have, and then I showed them on the screen, and I promised to solve their problem in the next 5 to 10 minutes? Targeting desires or problems is the number one way you're going to have a good hook. I'm going to tell you about the second way and then talk about how we can combine the two and really make it these work together, and that's curiosity. If you've ever watched a channel like Mr. Beast or some of those channels that really have these funny, unique, interesting videos, you'll find that the very first 10 to 15 seconds of their video hits you so hard with curiosity. Here's a couple examples.
I am sitting on $5 million in cash and competing for it. Open the gates! I'm about to show you what a $500,000 experience looks like.
You only watched most of those videos for 5 seconds and you're already wanting to know how that video ends. This is because he's created this sense of curiosity. He's created something where you have to know what's going to happen. Now you can do this in any niche. Here's a good example going back to our stains on the carpet niche. What if I told you that every carpet cleaning solution out there that is currently being sold in stores does not work, but there is something that works every single time, and it's probably something you already have in your cupboard? You can see how that is got this curiosity that you're like, oh, it's in my cupboard right now. You're telling me that the stuff that I'm buying at the store with my money is not working. Tell me more. And you can see even better how I combine the two. They want to get their carpet clean. They've got this desire, but I also target their desire while simultaneously hitting them with some curiosity. Now, I know that kind of sounds clickbaity, and I'm kind of sorry to say it, but most of YouTube hooks tend to be a little bit clickbaity. This is because you have very little time to capture someone's attention and to get somebody to commit to watching your video. So desire plus curiosity, the combo of those is how you're going to make hooks that really grab people. Do your hooks right, and the rest of the video can honestly sometimes be pretty poorly done. And I'm not saying you should, but it's happened to me where the rest of the video isn't that good, but the hook is so good that the video does extremely well. Now, moving on to the body can be different depending on the type of video you have. And so there's nothing super uniform about the style of body you have to have, but there are 3 general pointers that you should be following on every single video. And you should definitely be thinking through as you build out your script. The number 1 pointer is you never want to give them a reason to end your video. And what I mean by this is if you've promised to give them a solution to a problem, then once the solution is complete, that video needs to end. A lot of us have a tendency to ramble or almost solve the problem totally in the first 3 minutes, but then we'll add another 7 minutes of video where we give other things that could go wrong or blah, 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 blah. We give them 100 different things after the fact that we've solved most people's problems. Now that doesn't look good to YouTube. When YouTube sees a video and it sees everybody leaving 3 minutes in, it just assumes it's a bad video. It doesn't assume, and it has no way to know that their problem was solved. So if you're doing a problem or a desire-based video, as soon as you've reached the conclusion of getting them to the place they want to be, that's when the video needs to end fairly quickly. If you're doing some kind of listicle or something like that, you start with number 5 and then you get to number 1. You don't say, this is the number 1 software that you need for this, and now I'm going to tell you number 2 through 5 that I'm already telling you that these are worse than the one I already showed you. You're going to get a lot of people heading to number 1. If you start number 5, you're going to get a lot of people staying to number 1. This also means that if there's any big reveals, for example, we use that carpet stain example. If there's a big reveal where you're going to tell them the whatever it is that's going to help them completely solve their problem, right? That big reveal wants to be halfway into the video or further along into the video. Maybe you'll tell them how to prep the carpet first. Hey, you got to get your carpet clean first. You got to shampoo it first. Next, you've got to do this. Next, you've got to do this. Now we're going to show you the secret ingredient. We're 4 or 5 minutes into this video. The last moment we possibly can, we're going to solve that curiosity that we kind of introduced in the beginning of our video. Now, like I said, this can be different for every video, but it's a mindset. You need to have the mindset that you can't just give everything away in the first few minutes and then continue to talk and expect people to stay. And the second thing you need to do on a body is you need to start big and then work your way into the details. For example, in an affiliate marketing tutorial, I would start big. And in my last video, you'll see that I started by drawing on a piece of paper. And on this piece of paper, I showed the entire big picture of what affiliate marketing was. It was an hour-long video, and that paper kind of basically explained the big picture of what we were going to do. It didn't give any of the details that they still need, but then we were able to zoom in and work through the process without them being lost. And it kind of helps them to see where they are in a big journey, and it really helps them to know what's coming. For example, a lot of people doing affiliate marketing know that email marketing is going to be an important part of what they do. So now they looked at my big picture and they saw he is going to talk about email marketing. I really want to know about that, and he's promised that it's coming. They understand that your video is going to touch on that. It is going to solve that particular piece of the problem they have. You'll retain a lot more people. Now, the last step is obviously the conclusion. And again, we've already done most of the body. We've already solved their problem. It's time to end this video. Oftentimes we feel like at the end we kind of need to explain ourselves a few times or really sell something that we want them to do, and that ends up tanking the video. That means conclusions need to be succinct and they need to be done. In a lot of my videos, I point people to some of the free lead magnets and marketing materials that I have, and I do it in about 5 to 10 seconds. I say, if you want to learn more about making money online and you want to learn how to do it the right way, I've got some really good stuff for you. Go ahead and click down below and head over there. Boom, I'm done. If I'm using an affiliate link in the video, it's similar. Don't forget to sign up with the link down below. You'll get an extra 15 days with your trial. Boom, conclusion. Whatever it is, wrap up that video quick. Don't waste your time on a conclusion. It might work in Hollywood. It doesn't work well in YouTube. Now let's talk about the filming studio, what you're seeing here versus what's really happening around me. Often I find people are quite surprised when they see the actual studio. So what you're seeing here is my studio, and we'll go over all the different things, and I'll kind of talk about budgets and like how much you actually need versus an ideal studio that you'll eventually probably get to. First, let's apologize for the mess. It's right before Christmas now. We've got Christmas presents all over my office. Promise, it's not usually this messy. But let's talk about lighting to start. You can see right here, we've got 5 total lights in my office. purpose. And it doesn't have to be 5, but most people end up with at least 3. And you can see here, if I'm sitting at the desk, I've got lighting for both sides of my face. This helps eliminate a lot of shadows. And then I've got lighting behind me, and it kind of helps separate me from the background. This is one you don't have to do in the beginning, that backlight, but it does help provide a little bit of separation. You'll also see that I've got lights on my background, so shining on the things back there. Some people will have little small lights that shine forward and actually make kind of like a blurry light effect in the background. For me, I ended up settling on this, at least for the time being. Anyone that's watched my videos for a while knows I love to change the studio. But you're gonna wanna start with some good lighting on your face, and then you can start working on backgrounds, on backlighting, and all of that fun stuff. Another thing important to understand is where you're filming. So my office is actually pretty small. That means that it's not gonna be easy for me to blur what's happening behind me. If you've got a lot of depth between you and what's behind you, you're gonna be able to actually create this blur. It's a really cool effect, and it'll make this blurry background, and you can hide a lot, and you can add little lights, and you can add all kinds of things, and it'll still be able to focus and create this clean focus on you. So you'll wanna base your background depending on what you're filming in. But it's also worth noting it's not a big deal, and I've had many successful videos with many backgrounds that were honestly not very good. Now for audio, I started with a Yeti mic on Amazon. It's fairly cheap. What I have here is probably one of the most common high quality mics for YouTubers, and it's called a Rode mic. You can see I've got an arm that brings it over to me, a boom arm. I've got a Focusrite box, and I actually have a video on this whole setup, so I won't tell you everything, but it essentially is doing a lot to get good, clean, crisp audio in my office here. I also have a Bluetooth lapel mic. My favorite one is from DJI. These are a little expensive and definitely not required for you to use. But depending on the type of video you do, you may be moving around a house. You might be doing tutorials, for example, in the carpet cleaning option. You don't want to have a mic being held in your hand and close to your face and stuff like this. So these ones are so nice because I can open them up. I can clip them directly onto my shirt or whatever it is that I'm doing. I can connect with Bluetooth, but they also record directly to the device. And afterwards, I can just upload it directly and connect it very easily to the actual video footage. Now, when it comes to cameras, I'm using a fairly decent camera, an M50 right here that points to me. I'll be dead honest and say that a good iPhone can do just about now what my main camera is doing, especially if you don't know what you're doing. So there is no pressure to go out and buy a $600, $700, $800 camera when your iPhone will do just fine in the beginning. Now, what I use my iPhone for is on a lot of videos, I want a secondary angle. Well, not in this video because it's more of a tutorial, but in other videos, I'll have another camera giving me from another angle. And that's just being filmed from my iPhone. And you can see it's just sitting on this boom arm right here. This cost me $10 on Amazon, and I can maneuver it however I want, get whatever angle I want, and it just sits there and gets me that second angle worth of footage. And it's super easy for me or an editor to combine and put into the final product. And finally, I mentioned briefly, we talk about teleprompters. You can see here is my teleprompter. If I ever do use a teleprompter, this screws directly onto my camera. They have ones for iPhones as well. And what happens is I actually put my script directly on my iPhone, and then I can put my iPhone underneath the teleprompter. It reflects onto the prompter, and I can look directly at the camera like I am now while reading the teleprompter. You'll get a remote with it that you hold in your hand, and you can just slowly choose the speed and kind of keep things moving as you're reading this teleprompter. Now, again, I will leave a link down below to this as well as anything else that I use in my actual studio. We understand a lot about filming now, setting it all up, everything like that. I want to take somewhat of a brief pause and really hone in on the YouTube algorithm. And if you're not familiar with what that is, do not worry, we'll talk about it. But I also want to talk about the idea that there's not just one single YouTube algorithm. So I'm going to head to YouTube over here, and we're going to talk about first what an algorithm is. So when I type something into YouTube, well, actually first, let's pause right here. You can see YouTube just had to make a decision, right? It had to decide 6 videos to show to me right away. What are the ones we think he's most likely to watch? White noise, black screen. White noise, I had to use that a lot. But YouTube's making a decision here, right? And all this algorithm is an equation where YouTube says, okay, here's who he subscribes to, here's the videos he's watched, here's the stuff he watches the most, what's he most likely to watch right now? And it's gonna pick some videos and put them out there. That's called an algorithm. And there's a couple different algorithms, right? So that's the algorithm right here on my home screen when I first log in. Oh man, would you love to hit that algorithm when someone just logs into their home screen. But there's another algorithm, right? How to do well on YouTube. Now, I just typed that into YouTube, and this is the search algorithm. It's a different algorithm, a different equation where YouTube says, okay, now I'm not just kind of having to take my general understanding of Spencer and try to give a video to him based on what I know about him. YouTube says, now I know he wants to do well on YouTube. So now it's got another algorithm. It's going to take all these videos out there that talk about doing well on YouTube, right? Or getting views on YouTube, or making money on YouTube. It's going to kind of take all these videos that could potentially work for this, and it's going to have to decide. It's going to say, okay, this video has these things happening. When people people watch it, they do this. When they type in this phrase right here, how to do well on YouTube, most people actually click this video. So we're going to show this video. So it goes through all these different steps and makes a decision. And then obviously it shows up. Now you want to be the person showing up first, right? That's so many views right there. You can see 631,000, 1.3 million, 1.4 million. So we want to push the right buttons to trigger that algorithm. And we want to do the right things to make us show up there. Now, like I mentioned, the algorithms are different, but there's key components that are the same. And that's what we're going to focus on this video. And while there's a lot of things we can do to influence this algorithm, there's really 3 big major ones where if you can hit all 3, you'll do well, even if the other ones aren't doing quite as well. Those 3 are click-through rate, retention, and engagement or audience enjoyment. Now let's go over each of those and explain what it means. Click-through rate is either on this last screen that we were on, this home screen, or this main screen. How many clicks does this video get in relation to other ones? So when someone types in how to do well on YouTube and it shows these 2 videos, which one has a higher click-through rate? Which one is getting more clicks when they're shown? So a good click-through rate might be as high as 15 to 20%, meaning if we show someone this video as an option to click on, 1 out of 5 are clicking on them. That's a good click-through rate. A bad click-through rate for me might be in the 1 to 2% range, right? Where YouTube says, hey, we showed this video to 100 people. Only 1 of them actually clicked. So I don't think there's a lot of people interested in this video. So you can see why this would be such a huge thing for YouTube, because if YouTube shows you 6 videos on the home screen and tons of people click this video right here, but almost nobody clicks this video right here, YouTube is going to come to the decision pretty quickly that this video is not relevant, that it's not interesting. There's something about that video or that subject matter that people just aren't interested in. So getting people to click and choose our video is one of the easiest and fastest improvements we can make to get a lot of views and to get YouTube to show our video to more people. The second thing is called retention. And what retention is how long is someone watching our video? Imagine you're YouTube and you're watching all these different, you're watching how people connect and react to all these different videos. And within 10 seconds of starting the video, they're leaving. Half of them, or 60, 70, 80% of the people that start watching that video leave in the first 10 seconds. Well, we just told YouTube there's something wrong with this video. Maybe they're using clickbait or something to get people to watch, but people aren't liking what they're watching once they get to this video. Or maybe, 90% of the people are done watching a minute into the video and it's a 10-minute video. So looking at this graph right here, you can see this was a fairly successful video of mine. And you can see here, this is a chart that basically shows from 0 to 5.5 minutes, which is how long this video is, how many people are leaving and staying. And you can see here, if I went down to about the 30-second mark, I have 63% of people still watching. Now that's probably a little above average for me, not great, but not terrible. And you can see it kind of slowly goes down from there. We hit 50% about 1 minute and 42 seconds into the video. Again, not great, can probably do better. But it looks like a lot of people are just clicking ahead because guess what? We're back to 50% right here, meaning people just didn't like that section and they skipped ahead. So right about here, we're 3.5 minutes in and still half the people watching our video. That's a good sign. That's a pretty good video. And the video reflected that in the actual view count because YouTube said, hey, yes, people are skipping ahead, but people are generally staying and watching a good portion of this video before they leave on average. And the last thing is a little bit more vague, but it's basically how YouTube is measuring if people enjoyed that video and enjoyed that experience. So there's things like dislikes. I don't think that's a huge deal. A couple big ones are engagement, right? You can see here, this video had 680 comments, but it had a lot of views. This video had less views, but double the comments, which if the comments are positive is a good sign to YouTube. It says, okay, people enjoyed this YouTube experience. That's good. We're going to show this video to more people because we want people to come back to YouTube. Another big one might be if that person goes and watches some more of your videos after that. Oh, wow. YouTube's like, they must like this guy. Now you can see why a lot of these YouTubers say, Graham Stephan saying,
if you made it through the whole video and you haven't subscribed already, it would mean the world to me if you hit the like button and subscribe.
So step 1 here is we're going to dive into improving our click-through rate. To me, that's the easiest thing. The retention part can be a lot harder. There's a lot to learn and a lot that goes into it. There's a little charisma sometimes that goes into it. And there's 2 ways that we can do that. You can see here, we've got these choices to make between different videos. And there's really only 2 things that we're using to make our decision. It's this picture called the thumbnail, and it's this title right here, right? And between those 2, we're looking real quickly and making snap judgments. So we're gonna focus more on search. That's where I would focus if I were just starting out. I would not focus on homepage videos or showing up in the recommended or anything else. I would really try to rank in search results results. And that's what we're going to focus on right here. So you can see here when I type in how to make money on YouTube, which is essentially what a good portion of this video is going to be about, especially at the end. And I'm going to go over everything I've learned over the years on how to make a thumbnail kill it. To be 100% disclosed here, this is coming from a training that I taught. We actually charged people $12,000 a couple years ago to be part of a full training, and we're going to pull from that. So again, this is no holds barred. We're not trying to sell you anything at the end. This is just everything I know on how to make a killer thumbnail that works. The first one is familiarity. What I mean by that is if you can take something that a good chunk of people that you want to watch your video, right? We typically don't want the whole world to watch our video. We've got kind of a unique niche audience, but if you can take something that you know they're familiar with, it tends to catch their eye. To use our YouTube example, a good example is on the screen right here. People that are trying to grow on YouTube are very familiar with this golden plaque that he's holding right there. That's what you get when you get to 1 million subscribers. And that's kind of the end goal of a vast number of YouTubers, myself included, which maybe this is a great time to ask you to go ahead and subscribe, because that is one of my goals and I try to deliver value to achieve that goal. Anyway, you can keep watching whether you subscribe or not, but you can see right there, it's eye-catching because it's familiar. It's a familiar site that a large number of these people can connect with. And it actually does extra well because it ties into the second point we're going to talk about as well, which is desire. We have people that want something really bad, and nothing catches your eye more than a desire. And to give you proof of that, I'm huge into cabins. And if I'm ever scrolling on YouTube and I see this just beautiful looking cabin, trees, a little lake behind it, that's kind of my dream, is to own something just like that. And I stop every single time. It stops me in my tracks because it's my desire. It's one of my really core desires, constantly researching, figuring out, developing plans, basically dreaming about this cabin. So that's one of my core desires. And when I see that, it just catches me every single time. And you can see here when I'm talking about how to make money on YouTube, they're all hitting desires. He's holding money. There's money throwing right there. They're focusing on that one word, money. He's showing a big revenue screen of someone making $20,000, right? Revenue screen, $20,000, holding a bag of money right there, text that says $300 away. Taking someone's core key desire and showing that on your thumbnail is probably one of the number one ways that you can get someone to click. The next one we'll talk about is authority. And this is where we show someone, it's kind of a mix of a familiarity, but we do it in an authoritative way. Meaning, if we look at the thumbnail on the screen there, we've got Jeff Bezos, we've got Elon Musk, two very familiar and authoritative figures. And that catches people's eye because they're people that they recognize. Not only do they recognize them as an authority, which means they tend to respect what they say, what they think about, and they want to hear what it is. That's why you see news articles all the time. Here's Elon Musk's opinion about this, and it's something that you're like, why should I care? And you probably shouldn't care, but the fact is that we do. Next up is contrast and pop. We're gonna hop and look at this thumbnail on the screen right here. Now this video is all about YouTube, and you can see there's really only one thing catching your eye, and it's that YouTube logo right there. This did very well, and we actually made a similar thumbnail on my channel, and it did well as well. There's something to that single pop and that single piece of contrast that kind of makes people look, and they look at whatever is contrasting on the screen. So if you go black and white and then you do red, they look at that. So what you can do is you can utilize this to highlight maybe someone's desire or highlight what you want someone to look at and really catch their eye, and you make that pop visually. You use brighter colors for that. You make it a little bigger, maybe you make it glow a little bit, but you can see here your eye just goes to that red very, very quickly because it pops and it's contrasting. This video right here did super well as well, and it's got just black, white, and then a very high contrast text that's easy to read, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But using just a few colors with one primary poppy color that basically is the first thing you want people to look at will make your thumbnail be better. The next one we're going to talk about is emotion. We all just get so sick of some of these YouTubers that show crazy emotion in their thumbnails, right? Every single thumbnail is like, but the reason they're doing it, as is always the case with YouTube typically, is that it works. People tend to stop scrolling when they see something emotional happening, right? If you're scrolling down a news article, let's say, and you see a mom holding a baby and the mom's crying and she looks devastated, you stop because you want to know why she's devastated. And so the emotion helps catch your eye. And then the second thing we're going to talk about is curiosity. This is a huge one. It's making people wonder what's going on in your thumbnail. And we'll show you 2 examples of this. But if you can stop people with emotion and then make them stop for another second or 2 and say, what is happening in that thumbnail? you can get such a high click-through rate. So you can see right here, you can see I'm looking at my computer screen. I've got this emotion on my screen, right, of maybe a mix of surprise / maybe a little worry, something like that. And you're kind of like, what's going on? And then you see that I'm looking at a computer screen. You're like, what is he looking at that's making him do that? And then you maybe look up to here and you're like, oh, he just made a big commission in that video. And you can see kind of the longer they're looking, the more likely they are to click. And so we've got somebody stopped here with my emotion, and then they're wondering what's going to happen. And that gets them to click and watch the video. And honestly, there's no no better example in the world than this video by Mark Rober, where you can see right here, he's got blood sitting there. There's a shark coming in the background. He is using curiosity. And when you see that, you almost have to click just to see what's going to happen here, what the next 10 seconds is going to hold. And moving on, I saved the best for last, and that is the concept of simplicity. You don't have 10 seconds on a thumbnail. If you could name one time in your life that you stared, besides maybe in this video, at a thumbnail for more than even like 3 or 4 seconds, I would love to hear it. But typically you've got 1 to 2 seconds to pull someone in here, which means you can't put 14 words on a thumbnail. I would make a rule that you almost never go above 4, and you typically shoot for 2 or 3. So you can see on the screen here, this person says start with 0. Next, you've probably seen some of these videos before. It's a fairly famous YouTuber. Very simple thumbnails, right? One single concept. There's 1 word and a number on that page. Cannot be overdone. So you're free to use text, and you probably should use 1 or 2 words in a lot of thumbnails, but you've got to make it as simple as possible. It has to be able to be looked at in a second or 2 and instantly know exactly what it's about and why. Why should someone watch it? Okay, now moving on, let's talk about the second part of this, and that is the titles. Now, talking about titles, let's talk about the way that I think most people move through YouTube. They scroll like this, and they typically see the thumbnail first. The thumbnail catches their eye, and they wonder what's it about. Then they move their eyes over to the title, and that's where they confirm that they want to watch that video. So understanding that means we need to understand how to make a title that hits that next step effectively. The first thing you can do is challenge a current belief. Stop doing this. Don't do this. Do this instead. Why X will actually Y you, and we'll fill in X and Y with something else. For example, why eating vegetables will actually kill you. Can you see how you're challenging this preconceived notion, and it makes them like wonder, like what? And there's different types of people. Some people will come in genuinely curious. Some people will come in kind of angry, like, oh, I gotta watch this so I can prove them wrong, right? Either way, to you, it's a view. Second option is to solve their pain point. And this is where I would focus a lot on search. We've got these people that just want something, right? They want something really bad, and they're either trying to run away from pain or they're trying to run towards some desire. And we want to simplify that and just say it quickly in the title. The best way I found doing this is saying how I went from X to Y, or how you can go from X to Y. How I went from broke to making $300 per day in 2 weeks. And you see how we're just simplifying a simple concept that's focused on their one desire. Third option is to pique their curiosity. I tried this. You probably see a lot of videos like that. I tried to start over on YouTube, or I tried to make $500 using a certain side hustle, or I tried this trend, whatever's trending, right? All these things that pique people's curiosity because they want to know how your experience was with something. Another example is what X is not telling you about Y. What your accountant is not telling you about paying taxes. And you see how that piques your curiosity a little bit. It makes you wonder, like, what is my accountant not telling me about that? 5 strangest ways people are making money in 2025. Grabs your curiosity. Like, I kind of want to know what are these weird ways. Number 4, again, is to utilize authority or familiarity. Here's Elon Musk's morning routine. IRS agent reveals 3 loopholes no one is currently using on their taxes. Can you see how I'm using other people's authority to help get clicks to my video? I'd like to pause this video and say that if you're still watching, you are clearly committed to this happening. And if you leave a comment down below saying yes, please, or anything like that, I will send you a completely free recording of a year-long mastermind where I dove into hyper detail on every one of these, and people actually paid $12,000 each to be in this mastermind, and we'll give it to you for free. Just leave a comment down below. We'll get that all sent over. But let's move on. Let's talk retention here, right? Retention is probably the hardest thing you'll ever do as a YouTuber. You'll get really good at the other things. Retention is something you're just constantly getting better at. And retention, like we talked about earlier, is the ability to keep people watching. And really, it's the ability to keep people watching longer than your competitors. So like we showed you earlier, you don't want to be bummed if you only get people to watch 80% of your video or 70% of your video, because that's actually really, really good and really high retention. So we're going to break this down into a couple different parts of the video and go over some of the key parts of retention. Now you can see on the screen here, this is a graph of a recent video that we put out, and it actually has fairly poor retention. It's a long video, kind of like this one, but you can see here, this graph right here, if I go right to here, this video at about 40 seconds into the video, okay, 0.41, it's got 48% of retention, meaning 52% of the people watching this video have already exited 41 seconds into the video. Not great, like I said, but you can see here as we go on, we can get 20 minutes into the video and we've still got about 17% of the people watching, which is pretty good. And we talked about we just left a little announcement probably 45 minutes into this video. You can see that'll make it to a solid total of about 8% of those people viewing this video. Now it's worth noting that's still over 1,000 people. So let's talk about the most important part of retention, and that's getting rid of this giant cliff that's on most videos right here. If we can get rid of this cliff or even cut that cliff in half, you'll see your retention goes through the roof and you'll see incredible things happen. So we'll talk a lot about how to keep people watching, but really the most important thing that you could do in the beginning is how to hook people into watching. You can kind of think of it like fishing. If you fished, you throw out your rod, and then when a fish bites, you kind of do a yank. This exact same idea works here, where you've got them to click into your video, but they're really not hooked. They're not sold completely on, I'm gonna watch this entire video. That's what you're gonna do in the first 30 seconds. And so far too often people will start their videos and they don't really know what they're gonna say. And so they kind of dilly-dally and they kind of do what I'm kind of doing right now. And they kind of just talk and say things and they kind of take forever to get to the point. They put some ums in there. They maybe add a little story. They say things in 4 sentences that should be said in 1 sentence. And you can see I'm just talking. And their hook ends up being a minute long. And it really only needed to be 20 seconds. And they lose half their people because they didn't make a good impression in that first 30 seconds. So here's 4 ways to make a good impression on a hook. And remember, you want to keep your hook typically between 10 and 30 seconds. The first one is to use some kind of story. So a personal story. If you start with a personal story, you'll find that people become invested very, very quickly. Every story has an ending, right? It has something that you want to get to and to see how something plays out. And so if you can start with a story, especially a compelling story and a story that relates to the person, then you'll do very well. Now you've only got 30 seconds to make this happen, but it's still quite possible. And if you pay attention to a lot of YouTube videos, you'll see they start with a compelling story. The second option is to start with a question that gets people thinking and knowing that they're going to get the answer to that very shortly. So for example, going back to our accountant analogy that we've used a few times now, if I was some kind of accountant making videos about accounting, I might start my video with something like, have you ever wondered why Donald Trump pays less taxes than you and most of the people in the world when he's making more money than you? We're going to answer that in this video, and we're going to explain exactly how you can take advantage of similar laws. Can you see how I asked a question that got them kind of like, yeah, I am wondering that. And like, yeah. And they kind of become more invested in the video as they nod along and answer your question and get involved in that thought process. The third thing you can do is you can use a piece of the video that shows up later. We see this a lot in Netflix episodes and things like that, where you take something from further along in the video where you're targeting an idea or something like that, or you're answering a question. And then right when it gets to the really, really important part, you cut and you go back to the very beginning of the video. So for example, there might be somewhere in this video in a little bit where I'm going to talk about making money. And I might say a statement like, and now this is the #1 way that you can make crazy money. This little trick made me over $200,000 in the first year that I was on YouTube. And then I would cut, right? That would be the hook, the very beginning of my video, and then we cut and start back over. Hey, I'm Spencer Meekum, and I'm gonna show you blah, blah, blah. You take a really, really important part of that video, and then right when it gets good and juicy, you leave them hanging. Welcome to the world of video. And the fourth, we've talked a lot about this, it just never fails. And honestly, it's still my favorite one because it's simple. You don't have to think too much about it. It's being very straightforward and targeting their desire. So back to our account analogy. If you feel like you're overpaying on taxes and you think that there's some easy ways where you can pay less taxes this year, you're absolutely right. And I'm gonna show you 4 ways that you can save up to $10,000 on your taxes this year alone with only 5 minutes of work. Now, what I call what I just did is a desire statement with a qualifier. So I said, I'm gonna save you $10,000 on taxes. I'm gonna be very specific, tell you exactly what I'm gonna do. And then the qualifier is something that eliminates their preconceived notions. If you ever watched a YouTube video, for example, where you watch it and you're like, nah, that guy's lying, or no, he's probably using this hack and I already know about that hack and it doesn't really work. But we've all done that when we watch videos, especially training videos and especially in spaces like making money. So you qualify it with something like, it only takes 10 minutes of work. Or you do something to try to shut down the biggest notion that they might have, like, oh, it's just too much time. Yeah, I'm sure I could save a few $1,000s, but I probably have to save all my receipts and it's just too much work. And so we'll try to shut that down right away in this qualifier statement in our hook. For your hook, you're gonna do 10 to 30 seconds and you're gonna use one of those to start. You're gonna be short, you're gonna be succinct, you're not gonna do ums, you're gonna be bold, you're gonna be energetic. Like, this is your moment. That first 30 seconds is the absolute most important part of that video, because like we see in this graph, you're gonna lose half of your people in that 30 seconds if it's not done well. Then moving on, let's talk about the main body. Okay, this is kind of the meat and the potatoes of your video, right? Where you start and you go through everything that's been promised to them. Now, because of the nature of YouTube, every single video is just so different. There's so many different styles and things like that. So we're gonna go over 4 pointers that you can focus on, really no matter what type of channel you're doing. If you're tutorials, if you're story videos, anything like that will work with these 4 things. Number 1 is you always structure it so they have a reason to stay. If I promise them that I'm gonna show them how to get cat urine out of the carpet, as soon as I'm done getting that cat urine out of my carpet in my example, the video's over. We don't need to give 5 more minutes of pointers and things like that. As soon as I've given them what they came for, that video has to end. The second thing is you want to go big and then go small. And what I mean by that is in a video like this, that's a tutorial video, I want to show them the big picture. And what that really does is that helps them to see all the different things you're gonna cover. Because for example, when you go watch this video, you probably came in with some notions of what you wanted to learn. I really hope he focuses a little bit on monetization, maybe affiliate marketing, email marketing, something like that. If you can go broad in the beginning and say, in this video, we're gonna cover this, right? And you kind of give a quick overview and then you go specific and focus on each one of those specifically. Now they know it's coming. They know that the reason that they came for this video and the thing that they really care about is somewhere in there, and they're gonna watch a lot more of the video if you build it that way. So I might say, we're gonna talk about how you're gonna create your first YouTube channel. We're gonna talk about how to come up with video ideas. We're gonna talk about thumbnails and titles, and then we're gonna talk about retention. Then I'm gonna talk about how to make your videos rank over all your competitors. And then finally, we're gonna go over how to make money with, as a small channel. You're like, okay, I'm sold, I'll wait. I really don't care about that last one, but I'm gonna watch until I get there. And then I'll dive into the specifics of each one of those, where I started big and then got small. Third thing, if you're ever doing some kind of listicle, which a lot of YouTube videos are, right? Top 5, top 10, top 20, you wanna go backwards. Don't say the #1 software for this is this one right here, because you can only imagine the cliff in your attention graph when everyone says,
Well, that's the #1 software. I'm out of here. Thanks.
right? You start with 5 and you work your way down to 1. And the last thing is to use what I call micro hooks. And these are where you kind of set yourself up for something a little later in the video. For example, now I'm going to show you the entire process here, but we'll show you right at the end how you can actually dramatically simplify this. And instead of it taking you 20 minutes, you can do it in about 30 seconds. Do you see how that gets them to watch a little further? Because they're like, okay, like he's showing me this, but like I really want to know what the 30-second hack is. So I'm going to watch at least until that point. And then when you do that, you add another micro hook and you just add these little things that get them watching for 30 more seconds or 40 more seconds. You can even start phrases with things like this. You won't believe the next part to this because no one ever believes when I teach them this. So do you see how we're micro hooking them? We did our hook at the very beginning of the video to get them to commit to the video. Now we're micro hooking them throughout the video, getting them to recommit to continuing to watch the video. And that's something that you just start to build the habit of. I make a list of things that I can say as I go, and I'll just kind of glance down and add them as I go. All in all, retention is something that just gets better over time. You get better at not saying ums, you get better at keeping a good flow to your video and keeping things moving, and you just get a little bit better each video. No, very few people come into YouTube having mastered the art of keeping people watching their video, the way that you get more succinct and the way you talk in a much clearer manner. So that's retention, something to work on, something to keep always improving on. Let's move on. Let's move on and talk about something very, very important, and that's your editing. You filmed this great video, you scripted it out, you've done all the research, you know it's a good video, but you can't just throw it out there. I'll be honest, some people do, and the right person has made that work. A vast majority of YouTubers need editing. And I'm gonna precede this by saying editing's different. People have different styles. So watch some videos, figure out what style you like. Some videos have done really well for me with very low editing. Just a few minor adjustments, taking out some ums, freezing up and removing kind of the freezes where I freak out. They've done well as well. Other videos have needed tons of flair and hype where I'm kind of like telling a story and trying to get people invested in my video, and those need a whole lot more editing. And so it comes down to you kind of figuring out who you are and what type of videos you want to do. And if something's not working, obviously you would move on. But if it's working for someone else, it may also work for you. Now here's some general things you need to understand whether you're editing yourself or you've got an editor. These would be instructions you would give to your editor, or if you're editing yourself, these are things you would look for. The number one thing that any editor can do for a YouTube video, whether it's you or someone you hire, is to remove fluff, remove waste, remove words even that don't really need to be there. If you can take a 12-minute video and turn it into an 8-minute video and it's still getting everything, all the points across, then you've done something miraculous and you've probably dramatically increased your retention by doing this. And so a lot of times when you go back and watch a video, you'll say, I said that twice or 3 times, like I really wanted to make that point, and so I kept saying it. I said this in 3 sentences and it really only needed 1 sentence to be said.
Now, I'm not going to go into too many details of how it works behind the scenes.
Or I said 55 ums in that video, and you'll see this when you're brand new a lot. So many ums, so many ers, and all those little like pauses and sounds and stuff. You can really condense and remove a lot if you have a bad tendency to say a lot. And a lot of time, I remember in my first few videos, I would say so many times, and I didn't realize it. I knew I said a few times, but when I would go back and watch the video, 50 is probably low, on the low end here. There was an every 5 to 8 seconds, just kind of popping out of your mouth. And so cutting out all that stuff and really creating this cohesive video that plays and has good flow to it is probably the most important thing an editor could do. The second thing is helpful visuals. You're gonna find whether you edit it yourself or whether other people edit it, it's easier to just throw in some B-roll. Those are visuals. B-roll is visuals, right? If I'm talking right here and I have this little, random video of someone in a YouTube office kind of scrolling across them as they film, that's B-roll. It doesn't really help. It just kind of keeps their brain distracted and gives them something nice to look at. Now, B-roll has its place, but way better for both you and an editor is if you can have actual helpful visuals, where if I'm talking about a phone or something to do on a phone, then a picture of a phone pops up and it's moving across the phone and clicking on things, right? Or if I'm talking about my filming studio like I did earlier, my B-roll is the exact camera. I have a video of my camera, I have a video of my lights, we have a video of my mic. B-roll that genuinely helps. So you really want to use B-roll if you can, that is as helpful as possible, not just distracting. Third thing is understanding flow. You don't want a video that just talks nonstop because people kind of start to lose it. We may have overdone it in this video, we'll see. But when you watch someone that just talks nonstop, it starts to wear on you and you get bored and you want to leave. So flow is where you've got times where the video stops. Maybe there's a sound effect there or something. Maybe I stop and we kind of do something funny, or I look up there, right? Or we just do these little things to kind of break up the monotony of someone talking for 10 minutes. There's a good example right there. And then some of the easier things are you can add some basic B-roll from websites like pexels.com, which will give you tons of free B-roll that you can use. AI can make B-roll for you as well. And you can do some simple things to keep the screen moving, like zoom ins. And you can do zoom outs. You can also have little pans where it slowly pans across the screen. It's nice to have movement on the screen. You'll find that most editors are doing something like this. And if you're editing yourself, it's not that hard as well to do it. Some simple pans, some simple cuts and zoom in and zoom outs throughout the video that won't take you a lot of time and will add a little bit of flair to your video. All in all, editing something that's gonna get better and better with each video. You'll probably start editing yourself and then you'll get some ideas of what you like and then you'll hire an editor. You'll give them some general ideas and then later on you'll probably hire a different editor as you continue to expand and grow. The biggest thing on YouTube, and you'll see me talk about this multiple times, is getting a little bit better each video. You see something you like, you add that and start adding that to all your videos. Same thing with retention. You see something you like and that works well, and you start adding that. And every video is edited just incrementally better than the previous one. And in the end, you come out a few years later with these incredible masterpieces that you never could have put out before. Whew. Maybe we take a break here real quick. You grab a drink of water, I grab a drink of water. This is the pause the flow, give everybody a chance to collect thoughts, take down some notes of everything that you just read, some things you might want to do before we move on to the real key, the real point of this video, and that is money, making money, monetization. How are we actually taking these people that are gonna view our videos that get all these views? How are we gonna take those people and actually make money while providing this value that we're gonna provide on the internet? Coming right up. All right, we're all back. Hopefully we're all hydrated. We're gonna talk monetization, the real reason that you're here, and honestly something that I think I specialize in and that we can do even with the smallest of channels. There's this false belief out there where people think they need hundreds of thousands or even millions of subscribers to really do well on YouTube. And I've seen channels with less than 1,000 subscribers do quite well with different monetization methods that we're gonna talk about here. So let's talk about number one, and that is YouTube Money. So you can see right here, this is the lifetime of money that YouTube pays me. This is just the money that when someone puts an ad on YouTube, right? They run an ad, YouTube takes a cut, and I take a cut. We do a nice split. YouTube provides part of the service, I provide part of the service, and we're not gonna go over a ton of exact amounts right here. Now, as you can see, it kind of ebbs and flows. You grow, and then you might have really good videos that blow up, and you might make hundreds of dollars or even thousands of dollars in a day, and then it'll kind of drain. But overall, you can expect to need a fairly large subscriber base if you're going to make good money with just straight YouTube revenue where YouTube is paying you. Now, it's also important to note that certain niches will do very well with this and some will not. So health, wealth, and relationships do extremely well. You're gonna get a lot more money for each view, meaning if someone watches one of your videos, you'll get a penny, let's say, for each person that watches your video, versus outside of those, let's say you're doing pickleball or something like that, you might find that you're getting 1/10 as much money per view. And the reason for that is in these specific spaces, advertisers are willing to spend a lot of money on those ads because they know they're gonna make a lot of money, right? The people that teach people to get healthy, right? They tend to spend a lot of money. People that wanna get healthy spend a lot of money. money on supplements and trainings and gyms and all this stuff. And so they know they can make a lot of money and they're willing to put out a lot of money to pay for these ads. Now, YouTube paying you directly is great. It's simple, but I want to talk about my absolute favorite way to make money on YouTube, especially if you're a new tiny channel. And we'll actually tell you a story in a minute here of one of my channels that just started, less than 500 subscribers, that made thousands and thousands of dollars with a single video using this method that we're going to show you. By the way, can you see how I just chucked in a little micro hook right there? Anyway, this is called affiliate marketing. And if you're not familiar with affiliate marketing, it's really, really simple. The easiest way to teach it is just to head to Amazon. You can see here I've got all kinds of products on Amazon, right? This is something we recently purchased. It's an infrared thermometer, and I am an affiliate of Amazon. And all I have to do is go up right here and click get link, and Amazon's going to give me this kind of unique link right there. That link is unique to me, meaning that if someone clicks that exact link with all those weird little capitals and non-capitals there, Amazon is going to know that I was the person, me, Spencer, sent those people to that product page. And anything that person buys for the next 24 hours, I'm going to get a percentage of it. Basically, every company you can imagine, I know of very few companies that don't have some sort of affiliate program. We're going to sign up for companies that it's really natural to promote. A lot of these companies, it's not, you don't even have to get permission. You can just sign up. Once you sign up, they give you a special link. They say, here's your link. Anybody that clicks that link and buys our product, we'll give you a percentage. Now, Amazon, they're giving you 2 to 3%. Some of the softwares I promote though, and the courses and the digital stuff where it's really easy for them to deliver and it doesn't cost them a lot more, you can get 40%, 50%. I've seen things go as high as 70 or 80%. Now, this stuff works really good with specific types of videos, how-to videos, product review videos. Basically, someone watches your video and they're kind of gonna need to take some steps that involve spending money on the internet. So for our pet urine example, how to get pet urine out of your carpet, right? Well, in your example, you're probably gonna say, I'm using this special Granny's pet urine remover, right? And watch how well this works. Well, it's a great opportunity to pop out an affiliate link. And what we're gonna do is, all we have to do is throw it in our description of our video when we upload our video. Right here, you can see I've got links right here, and this is an example video on another channel of mine. But all we've got to do is throw that in the description and say, and I'll leave you a link. We're gonna leave a link to a video right here, and we'll also leave a link down below. It'll make their life easier, right? I'll leave a link down below. And who doesn't want that? When you're watching a video about how to get rid of pet urine and you watch them spray and it works perfectly, the stain's completely gone, you're like, I want that stuff. They're like, oh, just click down below and I'll get it. And so it's really a win-win for everybody. That's why I love affiliate marketing. They don't pay more for it. They pay the same amount they would. The company just gives you a cut of what they would typically spend on marketing. So a great example is this video. This other channel is kind of just focused on making money with affiliate marketing, and it's done really well with it. So this is back when crypto was going nuts. Everyone probably remembers XRP because I think it's going nuts again, but there were a lot of people trying to figure out how to buy this coin in the US. I think it was either banned in the US or it wasn't banned, but it was hard to buy on US crypto exchanges. Anyway, we just made a tutorial on how to buy XRP in the USA, right? A very simple video. A lot of people are looking for it. It's all the rage at the time. And it's a very simple tutorial. It's only 5 minutes long. But you can see right there, I've got a link to a software that they're gonna need. They're gonna need to go to an exchange to buy this. And I'm an affiliate of this exchange. So I send them to this exchange in the video. You're gonna wanna go here. And then you're gonna follow through this whole process, right? Oh, and there's a link down below. Just go ahead and click that link right there. You'll be able to sign up and follow along with the rest of the video. Now, in this particular case, I get a percentage of however much the company is making from the people that click this link. And it just so happened on this video that a bunch of people signed up, and one in particular signed up and he traded millions of dollars of coins, which means the company made thousands or tens of thousands of dollars off of them, which means that I make 50% of that, and I made tens of thousands of dollars from this one single video because I'm getting a percentage of anything that the company is making. And there's really a sky's the limit deal here in the crypto space. If you look across my channel, you'll see tons of videos include links in the description because I very naturally do it as I teach stuff. And in fact, in this video, we'll probably have a few as well because I'm recommending softwares. I'm recommending that you go to certain sites and do things. And I'm recommending cameras and I'm recommending mics, right? And as I recommend these things, easier for you to be able to just go down and click a link. You know, what's his lighting? Click go. It's easy for the company to get a customer, and it's easy for me to now start making some money, and everybody's winning as we kind of share information and get paid to share value on the internet. So I really want to focus on that idea that affiliate marketing allows you to share value for free on the internet, give everything you know, and still make a good amount of money. But there is one problem with affiliate marketing, and that's that you don't own your audience. YouTube can shut down your channel at any time and you would be up a creek, completely alone, nothing to show for all your efforts except for whatever money you made in the past. So there's a third way to make money, and this is the way you need to absolutely do on top of whatever other way you choose, because this is the way you build a long-standing business that you can control and sleep at night, essentially. And that's building up an email list. So let's head over to this video right here. You can see this is a recent video we put out, and I don't have a link to affiliate stuff in there, but I do have a link to a cool free training. Very, very simple. Okay, you can see right here, someone clicks here and they put in an email address. This is the last way, and it's capturing people's email addresses by offering them something for free, usually digital because it needs to be free for you, in exchange for an email address. And once you have an email address, you can start sending out typically affiliate offers, but you could also create your own trainings, your own products, your own whatever you want, and send out emails. You know, we all wake up probably to 10, 20, 30, some of us hundreds of emails in our inbox selling things. And this is called email marketing. And you probably looking at this saying, yes, this looks very familiar because I see this on virtually every site that I go to where they're trying to capture an email address so they can sell their products or affiliate products via email. Now, if you head to my channel, you'll see an entire playlist that talks about how to do email marketing effectively, how to do it well, and we'll leave links to all that stuff. But this is the third and a very, very important way that you'll want to start thinking about as you start your YouTube channel. Whew, all right, you can probably see my eyes starting to sink. You can hear my voice starting to crack a little. We've been filming for a long time. You probably saw me change shirts in the middle as well. Maybe my stubble got a little bigger. Yes, this was filmed between 2 separate sessions. Let's finish this with something that I think is super important, and that is the beginner strategy. If you have less than 500 subscribers, how do you start? How do you make money quickly? How do you get things going so that you don't fizzle before you ever actually get this thing off the ground? Let's talk about that for just a few minutes. If you're new, this will be a very important part of this video. There's 2 ways that you're gonna do it. The first one is you're gonna target product launches. And the reason we're gonna target product launches is this. If I head to YouTube right here and I type in, let's say, here's a product that's been around for a while. You guys have all seen me talk about this, ClickFunnels. Now, ClickFunnels is a product that's been around for, in fact, there's a video of mine and another video of mine you can see 6 years ago, 5 years ago, 7 years ago. This thing has been around for a while. I've been around for a while. But this product has also been around for a while, and it's really hard to get in on that. A lot of people know about this. There's not that much excitement. When you bring up the name, they might already be like, oh, I heard about that already. Is that all you're gonna tell me? Or it's just hard to get in on reviews and other video types like that. So you want product launches where no one knows about it first. There's not that much competition, right? If a product launches today, a new, in this case, website or funnel builder, no one knows about it. It's new, it's exciting. When you tell them about it, they're like, whoa, I actually do want to know about that. The second thing is, no one else has videos about it. So right now, if I typed in ClickFunnels review, you can bet that there's probably 10,000 videos that are all talking about that same thing. That means you're competing against 10,000 other YouTubers. And some of these are big YouTubers. Some of them have big channels, lots of subscribers. They've been around for a while. They make good videos. You don't want to compete with them in the beginning. So you'd rather go for a product launch where there's 5 people that have put out a video about that already. That's it. And then when you do bring up this product in other videos, they don't know what it is and they're interested. They're like, it piqued my interest. What is this product that I've never heard of that can help me in my journey and in my goals and my desires? So you're going to target product launches with words like demo, review, because that's the things people are going to be typing in as they start to hear about this product, right? There's all this hype. People are like, what is this new product I keep hearing about? They head to YouTube. What is this new product? Or is this a good product? Can I actually see it in action and review it and hear somebody talk about it? Maybe you could do versus videos like this product versus this product, because you basically will take this new product that's coming out and you'll find the oldest product in that space that kind of everyone knows about. In this case, I might do HubSpot or Salesforce or something where everybody knows what it is. And you say, how does it compare to that? So you do this right on the days that product are launching or right in the first few weeks of a product launching. And you'll find that your brand new channel with 0 subscribers is able to get a fair amount of views because there's just not enough competition out there at this point to make it work. The second thing you're gonna do, because these are easier to film, is simple how-to videos. Almost every how-to video has some monetary aspect to it. Typically when people are gonna do something or solve a problem or move towards their desire, they're gonna spend money somewhere in the process. But there's one caveat. You don't wanna go for the big keywords. For example, when I type in how-to here, we'll get the big keywords. How to tie a tie. That's a big keyword, right? How to tie a tie. I would bet 72 million views. That sounds awesome, but this is a big keyword. There's a lot of videos about this. There's a lot of competition from people that are really good at this exact type of video. So instead you want to go for the scraps, which is fine in the beginning. You don't need to get 72 million views in the beginning. So you'll go for the scraps. They're called long tail keywords, and this is kind of the more specific. So you say how to tie a tie, Boom. Look at all these different options. The more details. How to tie a tie professionally. How to tie a tie for kids. How to tie a tie on your own. How to tie a tie into a bow tie. How to tie a tie easy, right? I can put in letters and get even deeper. How to tie a tie for the army. How to tie a tie and a handkerchief. Okay, I'll bet you that is significantly less videos or views. So to give you an idea of what I'm talking about, let's look at my channel when I first started. This is, I still can't believe it's 7 years ago. But you can see that I get into these really kind of niche keywords like a step-by-step guide to building your first website with no coding. Then I focus a bunch on a product that's brand new, which ClickFunnels was at the time. ClickFunnels, 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 ClickFunnels. And you can see I was doing pretty good getting all these ClickFunnels things. And I get into the weeds, right? How to set up SMTP with ClickFunnels. You don't have to know what that is, but you can know I'm kind of getting into the longer versions of this. As you scroll down, you can see me doing things like how to do affiliate marketing with blogs, how to do affiliate marketing with AdWords. So I'm a small channel and all these big channels are putting out affiliate marketing tutorials, right? How to do affiliate marketing, how to do affiliate marketing. But I'm saying, I don't think I can rank for those right now, right? So I say how to do affiliate marketing with this, how to do affiliate marketing with that, how to do affiliate marketing with this, with YouTube. And I'm able to do much better and get much better because the competition is just a lot less as you dive deeper and deeper and deeper into a specific subject. So you start with these type of videos, how to solve this problem if you are this type of person, and you just pump those out. And you'll find that some of these just blow up, and you don't have to be a master YouTuber because they're not coming to be entertained. They don't want crazy editing. They don't want anything. And it honestly is better a lot of times for new people to teach new people because someone that's been in it for 5 years forgets and skips over things that are important. And so you'll find that a lot of times they like these kind of newer, basic, non-flashy, non-hyped up channels that just sit down and talk them through the issue that they're having. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, how to make money on YouTube for beginners. Do not forget to comment down below if you want that full mastermind recording.